Welcome students, Mr. Bruin here. Today we're going to talk about BigBlueButton. It's an application we use at World Class Tech for creating virtual class sessions. That means that if I'm on one side of town and you're on the other, or for that matter, maybe I'm on the other side of the state from you, we can still meet together via the web in a virtual class sessions. You'll be able to hear me, possibly see me through a webcam, see my sessions slides like on a whiteboard, and even view my computer application from your own screen. So let's take a look at how we use BigBlueButton. First of all, how do you connect to the BigBlueButton virtual classroom? You enter the room from Moodle. That means you have to first log into Moodle, then enter the classroom, then click on a classroom session link. I'll show you that in just a moment. An important thing to remember is you must use a headset and not use the speakers on your computers to listen in on the virtual class session. If you use your speakers, it's very likely you will get an echo that will be very difficult, make it very difficult to hear the session. So make sure you use a headset. And when you first enter the room, you will be given the opportunity to test your audio settings. And once those are all right, you can hear through your headset, and you can even hear yourself speaking through your microphone if you have one on your headset. Then once that's all done, you can click on the Enter Audio button that you'll see there. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Let's go over to Moodle, and here I'm in a class, and we see here's the virtual class session on this particular day at this particular time. There is a date and time connected to almost all sessions because obviously we all have to be there at the same time in order to meet together. And so you'll find the one for the date and time that you're attempting to meet at, and you go ahead and click on the link. Again, you're in Moodle, logged in when you do this. When you click on that link, it's thinking here a little bit, but it'll open up a new window, and you'll see it says BigBlueButton. It's loading some modules, and then you'll get these windows here. Because it is a Flash application, it'll ask you to allow some Flash player settings. Just say allow. Alright, now we're in the audio testing area. You hear that echo? That's irritating. You can test your sessions, your audio settings here, and then when ready, click Join Audio. Alright, that little echo went away. That's better. Alright, so once you're in the session, you can see here's the BigBlueButton interface. In the upper left corner, you'll see the users window. This lists all the users that are currently in the session. We are Sally, student here, but we can see that the instructor, Mr. Bruin, is also logged in from another computer somewhere. When you are in the BigBlueButton, you can raise your hand just like in a regular classroom, and when you raise your hand clicking on this button, the teacher will see that you have a question and will call on you and give you an opportunity to speak. Okay, when you're done with your question, put your hand down. Below that we see the listeners window. Really it's another list of all the people in the classroom, but here you can actually mute your microphone. So if you've got some background noise or things like that, you can just mute.
You are now muted.
And the program does tell you if you're muted or unmuted.
You are now unmuted.
Down below that we have the video dock, and if the teacher decides to use the webcam, you'll be able to see the instructor here in the video dock as well. In the center is probably the most important area of the screen. This is where the slides are displayed. Just like a PowerPoint or a whiteboard in a classroom, you can see all the slides from the lecture. And occasionally there may be a set of tools over here on the right that are visible, and those will be visible to you if you have this icon next to your name. That means you are the presenter, and you can then control the slides and even draw on the whiteboard. But currently, Sally student is not the presenter, so she does not have those tools. Alright, over on the right we see the chat window. This is a lot of fun. This is where students can chat with one another as they enter the room. This is where you can ask questions. I don't get it. You can even change the color of your text so that as you chat, everyone can see your text a different color from other people's, and that's pretty helpful. Okay, so that's pretty much it. BigBlueButton is pretty easy to use. It's a great way for us to meet, to discuss the class topics, and to ask questions and to get help with our work in our class. Again, every class at World Class Tech will have at least 1 hour of virtual class session each week where we will meet. An important thing to know is if you can't make those sessions, they are recorded, and I'll show you in a moment how you can view those recordings if you're unable to make the live session. Once you're done, ready to leave the room, what you do is click on the log out button here in the upper right, say OK, and you'll leave the session. And once you leave the session, you'll go back to Moodle, to the place that you began from. Okay. Again, I mentioned earlier that there are recordings, a list of recordings, and you get to that, you'll find in every class a virtual class session recordings page, where if you go there, you will see the different recordings listed. And to listen to the particular session that you want to listen to, you simply click on the word slides right here, and the recording will open, and you'll be able to listen to that recording. Okay, so we'll close that down though. We don't need to watch that, but it gives the date, time, description of the class, etc. Okay, so that's how we use BigBlueButton in our classes here at World Class Tech for our virtual class sessions. I look forward to meeting you all online soon.